Welcome to my review of the Antec Striker. This is a case I've been really excited to take a look at. More recently, Antec has started doing some very interesting things with their cases. They also have the Torque, which is an EATX mid-tower with similar ideas to this case. They've done something that is quite rare here, made some very bold decisions with the entire design of this case, really. The layout, the aesthetics, the manufacturing techniques. It's something that we don't see very often, and I really hope that it works for them because they are definitely listening to the enthusiast market. And I hope that people realize that they've really put a lot of thought into this. They have some great designers, which are no doubt enthusiasts, because I can see the thinking behind this case. And it's really a very exciting case, and it looks like a lot of fun to build into. So this is a compact ITX case, but it's fully capable of high-end liquid cooling, being able to fit two 240mm radiators. For me, aside from the materials and the manufacturing techniques, the most exciting thing is the layout, which is completely non-standard. So the motherboard rear I/O faces downwards. The case fits a 240mm radiator on the back and another one in behind the motherboard. And it has a front-mounted GPU. So extremely interesting layout. We've really never seen anything like this before. We have tempered glass panels on the front, the sides, and then we have these extra aluminium panels at the bottom, which are beautifully made. They're folded aluminium, so certainly no cost has been spared here. They've used some kind of more challenging manufacturing techniques to achieve the bold and aggressive aesthetics that they were after. Certainly one of the enthusiast targeted decisions of this case is the level of transparency. You can really see into it from all angles. So you're going to want to put a lot of effort into your build, your custom cables, cable routing, and of course your liquid cooling system. The front panel is also transparent and tempered glass to show off the GPU, which mounts directly in behind it, which is even more important if you're going to be liquid cooling. The front panel is easily removable. I realized later you only need to loosen these screws because the front panel hooks on. And this gives you full access to install the GPU easily in behind it. The GPU position is one of the most interesting things about this case because normally the front panel is a bit of a boring part of a case, and this makes it a major feature. But not only that, it breaks up the major heat generating components, which is even more important in a compact case, and it actually really works for the tube layout. For the front I/O, we have 2x USB 3, USB 3.1C, audio, and a power button. The fasteners which hold on the tempered glass side panel windows match the finish of the case and the manufacturing process of the connecting structures which hold all of the panels together. This is molded, machined, then sandblasted and anodized aluminium. They could have just used a standard thumb screw, so it's definitely a nice little touch. The lower panels are easily removable. They just pop straight off. And once you start to remove the outer panels of this case, you realize just how aggressive the design actually is. It starts to not even look like a case anymore, which I think is just awesome. So ITX motherboards with downward facing rear I/O, which is an interesting layout and a nice big cutout behind the motherboard. SFX and ATX power supplies, both mounting holes are there right down on the bottom panel. On the right hand side here we have a dual 2.5-inch bay, which can be removed and installed around the back. And below this, we have a mounting position for a pump or pump and reservoir combo, which is adjustable horizontally and vertically. I'm liking the unconventional layout of this case more and more. This 240mm radiator mount out on the back here is unexpected. It's normally where you'd expect to see cables, but it's a perfect position for it. The layout just seems to kind of work almost all around. And, you could turn this into a feature with RGB fans. It's drawing the hot air away from you, away from the components. It's just a great spot for a radiator. Up to 40mm thick radiators, but really there's no limitation. If you install the radiator on the outside, you could even do push-pull fans with any thickness radiator. So I'm just taking a look at some of the construction of the case here, and take a look at the thick reinforcing on the inside of the front panel. They've really gone all out here, and you can see the thickness and the quality of all of the panels. Now that I've removed all of the outer panels, you can see that there's almost kind of nothing to the case. There's like nothing left. It's a blank canvas, and it gives you a real feeling for the amount of freedom that you would have when building into this case. And it really starts to get the ideas flowing. mainly with the very unconventional layout. You can see we have a cable management section in the middle, in between, and there's actually 45 millimeters in there for cable management, which is a lot. If you're going to install the 240 millimeter radiator into that middle position, you are going to have to remove the panel on the left side there for the 2.5 inch bays, and that's just so that you can get all of the cables through. For the included items, we have the documentation, some spare fasteners, and an Allen key and some spare pieces for the tempered glass side panel window attachment. So what is the verdict? I think that Antec has done something really interesting with this case. They've created an exciting product. They've almost, I think, made a statement with this case for the enthusiast market. They've created something that I would absolutely love to play with. I'd love to modify this thing, see what I can do with it for liquid cooling, for custom cables and cable routing. I hope that I get the chance soon to build into this case. I already have a lot of ideas. I'd love to do some chrome on the inner panels, to do like a candy, really high gloss on the outer panels to show up those folds, the bends. And liquid cooling, I mean, the routings here would just be really epic to work with. So I'm giving Antec a 10 out of 10 for this one. The quality and really everything else is also right up there with the best.